present, or future, the City of Dillon has a rich heritage. Join us now for Down Home Dillon, where we will focus on our history, present accomplishments, and the future of our great city. Welcome to Down Home Dillon.
Welcome to Down Home Dillon. I'm Mayor Todd Davis. I got a special guest today that I want to bring to you is Lieutenant David Lane with the City of Dillon Police Department. David, it's great to have you today.
Thank you.
Why don't you go and tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been with the department, and kind of what's going on over there.
I was hired back in 1998. Been here for 15 years now, and I used to work on I-95, working drug interdiction for a long time. Recently have moved my office to our main office. Been there for some time now, close to 2 years, and
right.
we've put some new people out on the interstate and made quite a few changes in our entire drug unit.
Right.
But been some real good changes.
Good changes. Well, on the drug, so let's talk about that a second, because I have people ask me, say, the City of Dillon has a ton of police cars out in the parking lot. In fact, we got a police car now for every officer, which is a good thing.
Right.
The cars last longer and they don't get worn down as quick, because I guess the officer's accountable for them. But those police cars are funded primarily by a drug fund. Is that correct?
Right. Yes.
And that drug fund the money from that drug fund comes from who y'all apprehend out there on I-95
right.
with money and drugs passing through our county each day. Tell us a little bit about how that works.
The officers are out there and they'll watch cars constantly all day.
Right.
They'll stop cars for different violations, and lots of times they'll search the car, ask for consent to search. These people will grant them consent to search. If they don't, we've got a drug dog on hand, and they'll do a sniff of the exterior of the vehicle, and if the dog gives a positive alert, they'll search the vehicle, and if they find any illegal drugs, and of course we'll arrest the subject, and lots of times, in addition to the illegal drugs, we'll find currency. Because these drug cartels, they have to get their currency from point A to point B, just like they have to get their drugs from point A to point B. So lots of times we'll find illegal drugs, and with our cooperation with the Drug Enforcement Administration, lots of times we're able to seize that money.
Right.
And we get a large percentage of the money, and that money has to be put back into use with the police department to buy equipment to combat drug.
Right, and I think it's split with the city, the county, and SLED?
The Drug Enforcement Administration gets
the Drug Enforcement Administration, okay. And we have to get permission from the county to monitor 95, right?
That's
correct. Why they
right.
split. So it's a partnership.
It is a partnership.
Okay. Do you find that you have more activity on a northbound lane, a southbound lane?
Lots of times you see more of the money activity on the southbound, but things have changed so much over the years with the efforts of the drug cartels to conceal the money and the drugs that they're using northbound and southbound just as much as one as the other.
Well, y'all got a tough job. I appreciate what you do. I certainly wouldn't want to do it, and y'all are very good at what you do, especially you. I've heard a number of times how well you do your job out there and with the dog, and you know what you're doing. But like David said, that money that we have can only be used for certain things. So if we didn't have that money, we would have to buy the police cars out of the general fund, or the taxpayers' money. So all these police cars we have now, some of the equipment in the police department is being funded by their efforts, and 100% pretty much from my understanding. Yeah, that is right, isn't it? I mean,
through that, and we are able to get a few grants
Right.
to purchase equipment, but primarily the drug fund.
that's right, primarily the drug fund. Let me switch gears with you a little bit. I know the last few days, and well, really it's ongoing, but it seems to have stepped up with suspicious characters in the neighborhood, breaking in cars, breaking in people's garages, and so forth. I know we kind of had an undercover event last weekend in a neighborhood not far from me. What's going on with that? What's your thought?
Well, we did have somewhat of a rash of car break-ins. One thing that we saw was that the vehicles, most of the vehicles that were broken into, if not 90% of the vehicles were all unlocked. So we would definitely, we don't want anybody in neighborhoods, they're not supposed to be there, but we would definitely encourage everybody to lock their vehicles. And we have stepped up patrols in those areas, and we've tried to do our best to try and locate these individuals. But
it's hard to do. And I know a couple years ago, I didn't lock my truck, and it got broke into. They got everything.
Goodness.
And the guy was from Raleigh.
Right.
That got me. And it just so happened we were able to trace him through phone calls, and he was using my cell phone. But he happened to come back into our neighborhood a couple nights later again, and a neighbor called, or a lady about 2 blocks from me.
Right.
And we were able to catch him. And I remember they ran him down, and the first thing he looked at the officer and said, "How in the bleep did you catch me?" Because so evidently one of the officers was fast, and he was amazed that he got caught. But that is hard to catch them.
It is hard to catch them, and we would encourage anybody, if you see anything suspicious in the area, to please call so we can get some units around there as fast as we can and try and apprehend these people.
And it works. I walk in my neighborhood at night sometime just to clear my head, a couple blocks. And about 3 months ago, I walked late. I went out about 10:30, and all of a sudden an officer turns around and comes back behind me. Who won't know who this guy is. Then he looks at me, sees who it is. But they are checking out in the neighborhoods. But I guess if nothing's better than just good old surveillance through your neighbors.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So keep your eyes and ears open. Anything else with the police department you want to bring up that might be helpful for the community?
Well, we've had a lot of there have been a lot of changes here recently in the police department, in our drug unit, and we've had some officers leave here recently, but we have a really good department, and we feel like that we do a decent job for the city of Dillon.
Yeah, y'all do an outstanding job. It takes a special individual to do the work you do, because they aren't highly paid. In fact, we had to adjust salaries recently, try to maintain a level of pay that's equal to our area, and we found that we were behind. And people they put it on the line, and they could probably go out and work some other place in as far as investigation or what have you, but they're working for us, so you got to support them, help them when you can, and they're the lifeblood of the city as far as I'm concerned, and we appreciate all y'all do, David, and anything the city can do to help y'all more, do your jobs more effectively, please let us know.
Thank you, we will.
All right. We'll take a small commercial break and be right back in just a moment. Thank you.
Attention all golfers, the City of Dillon Municipal Golf Course is now open. Our fairways and greens are receiving that professional touch every day. Call us for more information or tee times, 843-774-3740.
Welcome back to Down Home Dillon. Todd Davis, I'm your mayor here in the City of Dillon. Glad to have you back. Let me tell you a little bit of what's going on around our city. Right now it's kind of a quiet period. We're kind of gearing up for the fall, but there are things going on. Let me mention a few you might have an interest in. We've done this before, but on October the 5th, Saturday, from 7 to 12, out at the Wellness Center, we're going to have a kind of like another yard sale. inside yard sale. So if you need cash and you got stuff, bring it. Maybe you can get rid of it. You never know what you're going to find at these things. I love going to stuff like this. In fact, I've been going out to the B&W auction. They have a sale inside and outside, so I'm going to plug them because I've been going out there lately, and I go to both, inside and outside, and I just love going because I never know what I'm going to find. But if you're interested in that, cost is $10, and you get a 10 by 10 foot space. So you need to call Sean at the Wellness Center. Sean's number is 774-5115, extension 4, if you would have an interest in this. And I would advise you to do it. This is, again, the second time we've done this. The first time was very successful. So you don't have to worry about the weather, if it's hot or is it cold, or if it's wet or it's dry. It's going to be inside, and we look forward to it. The cutoff time to register is Friday, October the 4th at noon. Okay, so call Sean at the Wellness Center if you have an interest in this. The Taste of Dillon County will be August 29th from 5 to 8, also at the City of Dillon Wellness Center. This is ongoing, is again very good. I think the tickets are, don't hold me to this. It used to be $15 and you can go taste all the food, and it's a bunch of it, and you can go back multiple times. You'll really get a kick out of it. Not only the food, but socializing and talking to everybody else who's there is a good time. I haven't missed it yet. This one's going to be a little special because we're going to send off Johnny Lures with the Dillon County Chamber of Commerce. She's the director, and that's going to be her last day. Johnny is going to leave the Dillon County Chambers to go on to do other things, and we appreciate everything she's done. She's done a fantastic job, and so come on out there for the food, to socialize, and to tell Johnny that you're going to miss her and thank her for all she's done. Soccer is coming upon us. Soccer registration is August the 12th through September the 6th at the Wellness Center again. The cost for your child for soccer is $35. And if you've got a child that plays soccer, you know how much fun it is watching them play and compete. If you haven't had a child that played soccer, I'd advise you or recommend you come out there and let them play. Get them out the house, get them running around, exercise, knowing and seeing other children. But it's a fantastic time watching them, grandparents. It's wonderful to see your kids out there. The ages for the soccer is 4 to 18. So as young as age 4 and as old as age 18. Out at the city fields is where we play, behind the armory, behind the baseball fields actually. But it's a good thing, it's a good time seeing those children play. We are going to hold our first ever City of Dillon golf tournament. That is going to be September the 21st. I don't know the tournament format. I just found out about it today. I also know that the University of South Carolina and the University of Clemson's football team is off that weekend. So there's not going to be anything else to do. So come on out and play golf with out there with us at the golf course. The new City of Dillon Municipal Golf Course, it cannot be in any better shape. I'm telling you, it is fantastic. You got to see it to believe the golf course today. So you come on out there and play, and we'll all have a good time. Another thing, our alleyways in Dillon are atrocious, to say the least. Paving alleyways or repaving alleyways is very expensive, but we put a little bit of money in the budget this time. But we can't pave all the alleys at one time. We're going to have to do it in segments, and it's hard to choose which ones to do, frankly. But we're going to repave here shortly the alleyway behind the Presbyterian Church, behind the Council on Aging. That alleyway is awful. It's heavily used. I know my friends at the Council of Aging will be glad to hear this. They've been talking to us about it for some time. So you're going to start seeing some work done there here right around the corner on repaving that alleyway there. It needs it bad. The alleyway behind the charcoal grill needs it bad. The alleyway on Connie Cottingham's store needs it bad. We're constantly having to patch potholes up there, so we're going to start to work on the alleyways and do it as we can do it from a financial standpoint, because again, it's very expensive to pay, primarily from the petroleum products, and the asphalt is unreal high. But we'll get started on that ASAP. Another thing, and this will wrap up the events, but I want to tell you what's going on at the Dillon County Theater. Tomorrow night, August the 17th, and this is late, the time you're seeing this is already done, Brian Pittman will be performing out at the theater, the Dillon County Theater, excuse me. Brian Pittman is one of the best Elvis impersonators I have ever seen. If you've never seen him, I hope you're going. I'm going to try to be there. That's tomorrow night. He's going to be doing it on the 36th anniversary of Elvis's death. It's been that long, folks, 36 years. And like I say, a lot of people have seen Brian around here. Brian fits Elvis to the T, and he loves doing it. Brian takes a lot of pride in doing it, and he's good at what he does. So I hope you can make that. November 17th, this is a Sunday at 3 p.m., we'll have our annual tribute to veterans. A lot of patriotic music, just a fantastic tribute to those that served. So come on out to that on November 17th at 3 o'clock. Sunday, February the 22nd, 7:30, we'll have Michael Leon Thomas. Michael is an artistic director, dancer, choreographer. You know, he's from Dillon. He made his professional debut with renowned dance and artistic director Judith Jameson. So he's a cousin of Dillon's Kevin Thomas, and is a graduate of Dillon High School. And he will be performing on February 22nd at 7:30. Friday, April the 4th, 7:30 p.m., Russell Long. Russell is a Dillon County native and a celebrated pianist. He'll bring an evening of classical and popular favorites, and you'll remember Russell from previous performances here. You won't want to miss him perform. He is very good at what he does. Saturday, May the 10th, 7:30, program is called Deep River. You might have heard of this before. This will be the grand finale of our season at the Dillon County Theater. But it will feature Hank Jones. If you never heard Hank Jones sing, you've got to hear him. He was recognized and carried on the greater things. He was that talented. He's a baritone who is returning to our Dillon stage for the first time in 15 years. Hank sang with the Houston Grand Opera in professional touring production of, I think this is Porgy and Bess and Showboat. He made his theater debut at the Florence Little Theater in Showboat and Big River, along with Robin Thompson as his, who will accompany him on the piano, and joined by Shaw and Rebecca Thompson. Hank's got a voice that you just got to hear to believe. He was recognized here, and the people that recognized him knew the talent that he had. So you got to hear him to believe it, and it's very good. And that is Deep River, 7:30 p.m. Sunday, May the 10th. You'll be hearing more about these performances and their dates at a later time, but I wanted to give you a head start on it. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back in just a few moments. Thank you.
Attention all golfers, the City of Dillon Municipal Golf Course is now open. Our fairways and greens are receiving that professional touch every day. Call us for more information or tee times, 843-774-3740.
Welcome back to Down Home Dillon. I want to thank you for spending your time with us today. We hope you got something out of it. I've wondered that before. What do you get out of this program? And I was in church last Sunday, and a lady said, "Todd, I enjoy your program with the City of Dillon," because I didn't volunteer to do this. I was asked and had to follow a few other mayors that put their shows on TV. But as long as y'all like it, I'll do it. And I like having guests like we did today with David Lane, and we're going to continue to have guests because I think y'all like to see other people other than me on here. Next month, though, I will have another guest. I'm going to look at getting Keith Bailey, the chief of the City of Dillon Fire Department. We're going to hopefully film out at the department. there's a lot of history out there that Keith is anxious for us to see and tell about the history of the City of Dillon Fire Department. So until next month, I hope you have a great month, and we look forward to seeing you then.